Dave here. Just going to do a quick 15 minutes shoulder joint work. We're trying to get it stronger. Our focus is on shoulder extension, which as volleyball players or anyone else who does any sort of sports is being used a lot to help you jump. And also in arm strength, we use that as well. This has been quite neglected a lot because most of the trainings that we do includes frontal plane, which is just shoulder flexion. We do a lot of abduction, we do adduction, but we never, almost never train extension of the shoulder. So this motion of the shoulder, if you imagine that ball and socket joint, that's your extension of the shoulder. So now we're going to try to see if we can get more control over that range or add a little bit more range or add capacity to that joint in extension. We might have a little kind of a warm up and look at the scapula, which is your shoulder blades as well, if you have time. This should take only 15 minutes and you don't need much equipment. We can do this at home as well. So 2 tennis balls. If you don't worry, you can just find anything that you can squeeze to. Get creative with that. You need a stack of books, yoga block, or a bigger ball. A volleyball can do as well, and a broomstick or a dowel or a mobility stick. 1 or 2 of them would be enough, and a wall. So I hope you all have a wall in your houses. So without further ado, let's start with these exercises. We need to. You can do this anywhere at home. I'm just going to take the shirt off just so you can see what's happening in my body and in the shoulder. This is not for any other purposes. Okay, so we're going to start with our knees right to the floor. We're going to get our hip to shoot forward and stay quite extended on the hip. And it's trying to stay firm and tall with our upper body. You can get close to the wall, and I want you to get one hand to the wall. Grab one of those tennis balls and hold it in your right hand. And then all I want you to try to do is, I just want you to try to see if you can squeeze to that tennis ball and then rotate that tennis ball towards internal rotation and external rotation. Okay, so just a few of those. And what I want you to think about is, are you rotating from your wrist or are you rotating from your shoulder joint and then finishing with the wrist? Okay, see if you could possibly start with rotating your shoulder joint from the bicep and above and then finish with the wrist, or are you not able? You have to go with the wrist first and then rotate with the shoulder. Okay, so that's the first thing I want you to do. A few of these rotations. See if we can get these rotations from the shoulder joint. Our hand is here, right, stuck to the wall, so that stops our body from moving, and we just want to get pure rotation from the shoulder. After we've done that, we're going to try to get our external rotation. That means I want that tennis ball to look towards the outside of my body. And then what I want you to do is, I want you to get the shoulder up to flexion. So go as far as you can go. For me, probably this is as far as I go. What I want you to be aware of is that if you go somewhere around here, I can go as far as that. But I'm borrowing movement from my spine. Is that right? Okay, so this is as far as I could go without compensation from my spine. I want you to hold it there, still trying to get the ball to look towards the outside. And then I want you to turn it towards the behind you. So we're going to get to our internal rotation, reach as far as we can. Okay, and that's kind of a complete circle that we're going to try to do. So it's kind of drawing little circles with your shoulder, but I want you to be aware of the movement within the rest of your body. So we're just going to try to draw 5 circles with this shoulder. So we're going to go as far as we can. So I'm just going to do it this way so you can see what's happening. First, I'm going to get my shoulder to go to extension. So I'll get as far as I could. I'm pretty sure that I'm not leaning back or going forward to get more extension. As you can see, this is as far as I can go. And if I wanted to add more extension, I can get it all the way up here, but the movement is borrowed from my spine and spinal flexion. So, okay, so reach back, extension, rotate to external rotation, reach as far up as you can, and then all the way down. Okay, one thing you have to be really aware of is that whatever movement you do, this might be as big as you can go without pain. That's what we want. We want no pain included in any of the movements we do today. Okay, I think we've got 2 more. I hope I can skip through that, but before I have to make sure that we consider health and safety procedures and make sure that you do this as safe as possible. So I just want you to go slow as controlled as you can. Make sure the other side of the shoulder, the left side, is not rotating. And slowly just see what your shoulder is capable of doing, your right shoulder, without compensation of your rest of your body. Okay? So now we're going to go through our next joint, next shoulder, which is the left. Okay? I'll do that this way so you can see what's happening. Again, I've got my extension, rotation, reach, full flexion, a deduction, and back to the center. And then again, up, rotate and reach back, and close that gap. Okay, so I'm going to do it one more time this way. Well, just to face you, I hold on to this dowel to make sure that I'm stable. It's not a balancing exercise. So in, up all the way, reach, rotate, and back. You could see that my body moved a little bit, but while I was doing that, it's absolutely fine. Start somewhere. Just be aware of those compensations. And the last movement. So as you can see, I'm trying to keep the rest of my body quite firm. And when I'm going back, I'll try to reach as far back as I can. Very good. These are tougher than they look. Now I want you to go to a bird dog position. That means I want your knees and I want your shoulders needs to be in line with your hip, and I want your shoulder to be in line with your elbow. Okay? So what I want you to do is make sure hip and knees in the same line. Get your left arm to be extended and press your left elbow right to the floor. Okay? If you feel like this is not a comfortable position, you can put the other elbow down and keep it on 90 degrees. While I'm trying to press with the other elbow, now you can get the other tennis ball. It comes handy. Okay? What I will try to do is, I'm just going to try my internal and external rotation. What does that mean? That means my elbow stays in the same line with my shoulder, and all I'm trying to do is draw as big of a circle, or half a circle, or a quarter of a circle that I can. I just want to see how far I can go in and how far I can go out. So we're just going to repeat about 10 of these. As you can see, I'm squeezing to both tennis balls. And what I'm trying to do is try not to move my whole body to go with it, because this looks very easy if I let my whole spine to go with it. But if I try to keep everything firm and just find out what's going on with my shoulder, this is as far as my shoulder can go. I'm trying to save some air in my belly and make sure I'm not leaning back or leaning forward. Keep everything like a statue with the rest of my body, squeezing to both tennis balls, and do 10 rotations. Now we're going to go the other way around. That's your internal rotation. That's your external rotation. Internal, external. Internal rotation, external rotation. Try to keep the rest of your body really firm. These are tougher than they look. I can guarantee you. Try to stop the rest of your body from moving, and these won't be easy. So external and internal rotation are the priority job of the shoulder joint. Okay, after we've done that, we're going to try our extension in the shoulder. Now, we're going to get the tennis ball in hand. We stay in the bird dog position. That means my shoulder is in the same line as my wrist, and my hip and knees in the same line. I'll try to keep firm with my belly and get some air trapped in there. Okay, and if needed, I'll put a yoga block or that stack of books right in my back, just so I know if I'm moving my back or turning or if I'm leaning to one side, so that drops. Okay, so now I want you to squeeze to that tennis ball, stay tall, squeeze to that tennis ball and reach as far back as you can. I want you to keep driving it up, keep bringing the rest of the body down and drive that as far up as you can. Squeeze to the ball and keep driving for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're going to switch. We're going to go to the other side. So we'll just use that. So the same thing. Okay, same line. And I'm just going to try some extension in the shoulder. So I'm squeezing to the ball. I'll try not to go too far away from my body. I'll try to go as far up as I can with my shoulder. And then keep squeezing to the ball and keep driving this up. Make sure you're not turning. So again, every time you're kind of aware of that movement, drive the shoulder, drive the rest of the body back to the center and keep driving the shoulder up towards the ceiling and squeeze to that ball. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, now we're going to switch again. I want you to squeeze the ball in your right hand. Stay where you are. We're going to bring the tennis ball up. We're going to place it on our lower back and back of our hands in our lower back. Now I want you to drive that elbow towards the ceiling. Squeeze to that tennis ball and be aware of the movement with the rest of your body, and then drive that tennis ball out towards the ceiling and hold it there. And back again, relax. So drive up the elbow, get that hand away from your lower back and extend. Back again, relax. One more. Driving that elbow up, make sure the rest of my body doesn't go with it. And then extension. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's switch. I'm going to do it on the other side. Again, I'm trying to keep firm with the rest of my body. Place the back of your hand onto your lower back. Squeeze to that tennis ball. Get the shoulder to go as far, get the elbow to go as far in as you can without your body turning with it. And then extend as far as you can with your hands and shoulder. Back to center, relax. Drive the elbow towards inside of your body. Then squeeze to the ball and drive that as far as you can. Hold for 5 seconds. Back to the center. Drive the elbow. Squeeze to the ball, hands off your lower back. Extend that hand, keep it as far as you can. And last one. Very good. Okay, so we've done a little bit of work on shoulder extension. Maybe your body feels a little bit strict right in front of your shoulder. We're going to do a little bit of work on isometrics. That means we're going to try to go about 100% of our body's power to initiate some shoulder extension. In order to do that, we go on a split stand, seated, and we want to have our hands right on the wall, so pressing to the wall. I want you to make sure that your spine doesn't go with it. So as you're keeping it straight, the other shoulder, your right shoulder towards, looking towards the wall, I want you to reach back with that broomstick and see how far back you can go with that broomstick. Okay, so when you set that up, I want you to be able to lift that broomstick off the floor and find somewhere that you hardly are able to lift that broomstick off the floor. Okay, if you find that, I want you to try and relax into that and spend some time in there. That means I'm not leaning back or going forward. I just try to keep as firm as possible. Adjust the other leg, give you some more comfort, okay? But make sure that you feel that tissue around this side of your shoulder stretching. You should not feel any pain at the back of your shoulder. If you can't do that, back off a little bit. Go back. It's called surge and load. So search for that stretch, nice stretch right in front of your rotating cups, and then see where you can lift that off the floor. Lift it down off the floor. Good. We're going to spend some time here. So first we're going to try slowly grabbing onto the dowel and then driving it to the floor. We're not going to go 100% to start with. We're just going to slowly ramp this tension up in the body. Again, I want you to keep really firm with the rest of your body and keep driving the dowel to the floor. And then a little bit more. I want you to drive it a little bit more. And then more. And then more. Take a deep breath and go 100% safest effort. I want you to keep driving that dowel to the floor. And try to lift it off the floor. Make sure that you're not leaning back. And relax into it. You might find out you might get some cramps and shaky feeling in the rest of your body. That's absolutely normal. Okay, we're going to switch positions. Okay, I'm just going to, where that ball went. I'm just going to switch positions and show you on the left side. That means my right leg goes forward, my right arm and right hand presses to the wall. I'll try to keep it in the same position. I'll get the broomstick or the dowel. I'll try to reach back as far as I can, and I want to be able to lift it up. So I want to see where I can lift this dowel off the floor and play with that. Okay, I think I found it somewhere around here. I hardly can lift it off the floor. That's absolutely fine. I'm leaning a little bit towards that side, so maybe I'll just fix my stance a little bit. And somewhere around here, I think. There you go. I feel the stretch right in front of my rotating calf. I'll try to spend some time here. So, deep breath in, breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out. Preferably, we want to spend about 2 minutes in this position, but you know, this is your start, so you don't want to spend that much time in a stretch. So we're going to slowly try to drive that broomstick to the floor. That means our shoulder from extension is getting to that flexion. And then add a little bit more. Imagine you've got that volume. You want to slowly go to 100% power output, but first you have to go about 5, 10, 20, and then 30, 40, 50, and 100% power. Now we are on about 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and then 100% safest effort. I want you to try to go as far as you can. Keep driving it down to the floor. 4, 3, 2, and now I want you to think about driving it down off the floor, the opposite direction. Now we think about lifting it off the floor. 4, 3, don't compensate the rest of your body. 2, 1. Slowly relax into it. Very good. Okay, we're going to get out of that position. Okay, so you might feel a bit of tension here, tension in front of your shoulders. That's absolutely fine. What we're going to do now, we're going to go on a swimming stretch. It's called swimmer's stretch. Don't go anywhere like a tennis ball. Okay, so get your forehead right on top of that yoga block that you have, or stack of books, or you can just go on the floor, that wouldn't matter. Okay, so hold it there. I want you to place both hands onto your lower back. Okay, so you're aware of any movement in your lower back. Okay, I want you to drive that elbow out towards the ceiling, and then squeeze to that tennis ball which you got in your left hand, and then extend the shoulder, and then back again to the center. Again, we're going to do this 4 rounds. We're going to try to minimize the movement in the wrist and rest of our body, and we're just focusing on that joint. And then the other side. Again, driving the elbow towards the inside of our body, extend and hold. Back to the center, elbow down, elbow towards the ceiling, squeeze to that tennis ball, extend, back to the center, and relax. Drive, squeeze and extend, back to the center. Drive, squeeze and extend, back to the center. Very good. And last thing we're going to do, okay, this was tougher than I thought. Okay, last thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to the shoulder cards. That means, again, we're going to get our left foot to go forward, hold, maybe make a fist, or just get your fingers to touch the wall, or hold it like that, because I think we've got enough space to go. Squeeze that tennis ball in your right hand. Okay. Do your internal and external rotation. Again, we're going to try to move that internal and external rotation from the shoulder. Try to initiate that movement from the shoulder, not the wrist. Okay. So we're going to start with our external rotation. That means I want the tennis ball to look towards the outside of my body. I want to reach to full flexion. That means I'm squeezing to the ball. I want to reach as far as I can. When I can't anymore, I mainly do that with my back extension, but we don't want to do that. We want to zip this up, keep our core braced. Reach up, and then now we want to go to an internal rotation. That means when I can't anymore, now I want that tennis ball to look towards the ground and back of me. Reach as far back as you can, close the gap, back to center. Reach to extension, all the way up, back to the center, and down. External rotation. Flexion, abduction, reaching back. So again, I'm trying to keep the rest of my body firm, not to turn anything but the shoulder. Okay, let's do it. Let's do the other side. So just do this with the back view. You can see. I'll try to keep my hands close to the wall. You can do it on the side or straight. I'll try to keep your hand to the wall. Keep firm. Make sure everything is firm in your body. Get the towel to help you balance on the floor. Keep it as straight as you can. As long as you're aware of any other movement in your body, we're fine. We're now going to go draw little circles with our left shoulder. So we want that circle to be as clean, as clear as we can. Extension, external rotation, abduction, flexion, abduction, back to the center. Okay, so this is a little bit of workout for your shoulders. When you got time, throughout the day, It's a good exercise if you can hold on to 2 tennis balls, just like what we did on the floor, with internal and external rotation, trying to get in and out. Okay? It works if we keep our hands together and do our internal and external rotation. Well, 1 at a time works better. You can do 2 at a time as well. But then you can't explore really what's happening with each. So 1 at a time, get internal and external rotation. As you can see, I'm not doing this. I'll try to keep my scapula right at the back. And then get my internal and external rotation on the shoulder. You can do it in different positions. Internal and external rotation. So the healthier this internal and external rotation is, the healthier your shoulder joint is. Okay, hope you find this helpful. Let me know if you've done this workout. Thank you.